miss a green with your 7-iron, you hit it solid, felt good, but for some reason it missed the green, would you more often, those types of shot, miss it right or left?
For me, left.
Okay. And when you don't hit it solid, do you more often hit it fat or thin?
Thin.
Okay. What percentage of 7-irons with a good lie in the fairway would you hit it solid, pleasingly solid?
Out of 10? Right now it's like a 5.
Wow. Okay. So you hit only half solid, and the other half, or 4 of them are thin, and 1 of them's fat.
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay, go ahead and hit some. And tell me a little bit about how much, you said you'd worked with Joe?
Yeah, I work with Joe. I have the DVDs.
Okay.
And
Was that a fairly radical change in your swing?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a little better. That the best so far of the series?
Yeah.
That's your best still. It's even higher. I like that launch angle. The first one I asked about was a little too low.
Yeah. Where was this on Saturday?
Tempo looks really good. Now, when you started shifting to stack and tilt, before then, did you have a lot of weak right lefts?
Yeah.
And now you have solid shots, more solid. They might have a little baby fade, but they're solid.
Yeah, they were more solid.
Okay. Makes sense. Is that one of your misses? The pull?
Yeah.
Is that the one that gets you?
Yeah.
Okay. I want you to set up with the goal of starting the starting line over the yellow flag. And these drives that I'm seeing now, is it typical what you hit on Saturday? Or a lot of them? Your bad ones?
Yeah.
Okay. One of the things that I do now in fixing ball flight, I mentioned in my email, you could have the worst swing in the world, but if the ball's always going where you want, you're shooting 65 all the time, I'm not going to change this. I only change this and change that. Well, that's my goal. Balls, you're missing fairways left. The reason you're missing fairways left is not the path, it's the face. Ryan, on this shot, this was before I made any changes, I had asked you to set up to hit the ball over the yellow flag, which is where the blue arrow is pointing. And I've pre-drawn the ball flight that the ball took off on. You can see that ball is following those circles. So your ball flight direction was immediately to the left of the starting line. What I wanted you to set up to start the ball on. It was not the target line. And how you want the ball to start in relationship to the target line depends on whether or not you're playing a draw or a fade. But if your reference point is the starting line, then a TrackMan set up on that yellow flag, we would want it to read 0 if we return the club face to the chosen starting line. And it obviously, if there was a TrackMan set up on that yellow flag for a starting line, it obviously did not return to a 0 position. That face was open to your chosen starting line. And that could be 10 degrees. That's quite a bit open right there. And I wanted to first see if there was a way of getting the correct face position by simply working with ball position and not have to work on the mechanics of your swing or how you manipulate the face in your swing. So your club face during its arc at some point is 0, and then before the 0 point it was open, and after the 0 point it was closed. There's what is called a rate of closure. And there are correct ways to create closure, and they're incorrect. It's incorrect to be doing this kind of stuff. That is a way. A lot of people teach that way because they had the wrong ball flight laws backwards. Two main components. One is simply the body. Body rotation helps square the club. I have no hand activity right now. The body helps square it. I'm talking about the actual forearm, not in the wrist. It's a blended activity. But the amount of space that the club traveled during the time the ball was actually on the face and the squashing and springing off the face was less than a half inch. So think of this little half-inch square, and we chop up your swing arc into all these little half-inch squares. Where you tee that ball up will have a symbol of a certain amount of geometry and physics. The little square before that one had a different assortment and blend of geometry and physics. On afterward. It's possible you have the perfect geometry and physics on your arc right now. You just don't have the ball teed up where that is just being assembled. There's a possibility that you will have better geometry and physics further forward in your arc than where it is right now. Simple as saying, I want you to move the ball up in your stance. I want you to hit a few shots where you feel like the ball is off your toe, off the tip of your right foot. So it's going to be 2 or 3 balls, maybe too far, don't know. It's going to take you a few swings, but I need to see how the ball flight changes, how the geometry changes with that change in ball. So the ball's more forward, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Want me to put it over the flag again?
You're still thinking about the yellow flag? So the only change we've made is ball position. There's 2 or 3 possible ball flight. I'm assuming that the ball flight's going to change, but I'm not sure if any of those changes are going to be good. I just don't want you to have the old ball position. I want you to be definitely further behind the ball in order for me to evaluate this change. Is that different?
Yeah.
Good. Well, the early evidence is good.
Yeah. Wow.
Anytime you can change the ball flight in a positive way without having to change the golf swing, that's a huge bonus. We don't have to worry about what our left elbow was doing, our shoulder was doing. We just change ball position and swing the most comfortable and natural way that we've already trained. We've already trained this golf swing. You just had the ball teed up in the wrong section of your arc. Let's see if that was an anomaly or is that a proven important change to make. And my work is done.
All right, let's take a beer.
That's awesome.
Wow, man.
Doesn't have to be complicated when you already have a really good golf swing.
Right on the left is your ball position before we made the change. With the ball position on the left, you were hitting the ball way left. You're coming in with the club face wide open. And then we adjusted it, moved the ball forward, and you can see how it's a couple of balls forward. And that gave the club face a little bit more time to square up. Now you don't own that feeling yet, that position yet. You're going to have to really work on continuing to hit balls with that new ball position. I would start working out with sticks on the ground, making sure that you are repeating the new ball position. You're still going to hit bad shots. You're going to, every golfer of every level owns a bad shot, so you're still going to have one. I'm hoping that your bad shot is going to be a much more solid shot, though, and not a weak shot to the left, but it'll be replaced with maybe a solid overfade or a solid draw. But right now, I don't want to have you working on any swing changes. There may be some swing elements that are going to sabotage you that we can address later. But first, I need you to have several practice sessions with some positive results with the new ball position. Let your subconscious mind kind of slowly own the golf swing around this new position.
All of those are in the fairway.
Wow.
And you may end up with a draw. But that's not, our goal is to have a predictable curve. When you read when you watch the DVD and they talk about what the goal is, they say predictable curve. They don't say predictable draw curve. If that ends up replacing your bad miss to the left, that's a better bad miss.
Yeah.
That's if your bad miss is weak left, you don't have a good drive on the wheel that you're spinning.
Right.
But if that's your bad miss, that means your good shot is going to be really good. You're going to own a miss. We all own a miss. That one you seem like you attacked it. You got a little bit more aggressive. Looked like on that one.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's important. You don't want to be babyish with this driver. That's a beautiful ball.